Good evening and welcome inside the Sullivan Center once again for University of St. Francis Fighting Saints basketball. Tonight, the Saints take on the Lourdes University Gray Wolves for the first time in these two schools' histories. Fighting Saints come in with a record of 1-1. The Gray Wolves are 4-2. Both teams coming off of really tough losses their last time out. Both sides saw their opponents score in the final seconds to pull away a victory. And both sides today look for a little retribution. It's Aitor Anabadarte at center court against Jackie Harris. The tip is won by the Gray Wolves. Lourdes in black, going from left to right. Fighting Saints in white, going from right to left to start today's game. This is Harris on the outside, passing it off to his left. Charles Swain, Stephen Coleman, Joey Holofield, and Little Anderson make up the starting lineup for Dennis Hobson's Lourdes team tonight. And we've got a quick foul on the first possession of the game. The Gray Wolves will get a couple of free throw attempts here. It'll be Joey Holofield going to the line. Gerner called for the early foul. And Holofield, who ranks second on the team with 12 points per game, gets a chance to score the first ones today. Joey Holofield is a 73% foul shooter. He's 11 of 15 on the season. Now at 75% after making the first tonight. So Lourdes strikes first. The Gray Wolves incongruously wearing black. Colors are black and orange. I don't see a speck of gray. Full court press after the back-to-back free throws. E.J. Charles trying to break it along with Aitor Anabadarte, his front court mate. Two of them are joined by Nadav Gerner, Darius Wright, and Carter Fahey in the Fighting Saints starting lineup today. This is Anabadarte with his back to the basket at the free throw line. Turns and bounces down low to Carter Fahey. Fahey working hard inside, and he scores over Stephen Coleman Jr. Nicely done by Carter Fahey, and we're tied at 2. The Saints are on the board for the first time tonight. Nearly taken away, poked into the backcourt, but Little Anderson chases it down. Anderson cuts inside and passes out. Coleman drives, pulls up in the lane, kicks it back out with the shot clock dropping under 10 seconds. Anderson fires a three, no good, but an offensive rebound grab by Jackie Harris. Harris throws it away. Nadav Gerner there for the interception. 2-on-2. Gerner shovels it off to Darius Wright. His three-pointer rims out. And the loose ball is pulled down by Joey Holofield. 2-2. Both teams scored on their first possession. And now both teams have come up empty since then, as Little Anderson is called for the travel. Tried to drive off of the shot fake, but he shuffled his feet a little bit. Knotted up at 2. St. Francis has the ball again, working against a press. This time a very light full court press from Charles Swain. Here's E.J. Charles up top, stripped. Gerner saves it from going out of bounds. Would have been out on Charles. It had hit his foot last, but Gerner kept it alive. 10 to shoot for Carter Fahey. Backing in, turnaround off the glass and in. Carter Fahey showing off the nice touch. He's got all 4 of the Saints' points so far this evening. And for the first time, St. Francis has the lead. 4-2 the score as Joey Holofield crosses over to the left side. A little push off on Gerner, kept alive. Out to Anderson, drive. Nice layup from Little Anderson, scoring over E.J. Charles as he fades away to the right side. Good move to tie the score. So we've been tied twice already. Lob down low from right to Fahey. Fahey puts it up in traffic. He's already got 6 points. What a start for Carter Fahey this evening. 2-point lead for the Fighting Saints as we trade 2-pointers back and forth, and now a 3-ball. Breaks the monotony. Charles Swain has his first points of the day, and Lourdes is back in front. Good back and forth action early on. Saints will try to reclaim the lead for themselves as they look to score for the third consecutive possession. E.J. Charles wide open from the right wing, and he responds with a three-pointer of his own. First points for E.J. Charles. In fact, the first points for anybody other than Carter Fahey. Saints lead by a deuce here with Lourdes in possession of the basketball. Anderson down low, reverse layup, his second impressive layup of the game. Little Anderson's got 4 of his team's 9. And we are tied. Not yet 4 minutes into the game. This is already the 3rd time we've been tied tonight. First game in a doubleheader tonight. 2 more tomorrow as part of the USF Thanksgiving Classic. Carter Fahey was looking to pass. Nobody picked him up. He takes the 8-foot jumper but comes up short. Little Anderson takes it the other way, driving inside. Too hard off the glass. Rebound tipped out to Swain, and Lourdes keeps it alive. Anderson's been aggressive early today, but this time he passes instead of shooting. And the Gray Wolves reset with 10 on the shot clock. Swain walks it to the right side, passes to the cutting Anderson, but Darius Wright is too quick for him. A steal for Wright, and the Saints take over. Nadav Gurner to break the tie, hits the 3, and he's got his first points. Second 3 ball of the game for St. Francis. The Saints are back on top. Joey Holifield, the junior out of Toledo, right near Lourdes University's campus. It's Anderson now backing in on Gurner. Turnaround jumper over E.J. Charles. Can't quite get the roll. And Aitor Anabadarte comes down with the rebound. St. Francis wanted to run. Good transition defense from Lourdes. And the Fighting Saints set up the half-court game with Carter Fahey at the top of the key. Trying to get it to the cutting E.J. Charles along the baseline. It's deflected out of bounds. And it'll stay with St. Francis, 19 to shoot, as the Fighting Saints go to their bench for the first time today. Nadav Gurner heads out. Hit the big 3-pointer a few moments ago, but he departs in favor of Jalen Reno, who played well in the loss to Roosevelt on Wednesday. This is Carter Fahey flinging it outside to Darius Wright. Wright fakes left, dribbles right, gives it up to Reno. Reno defended by Holifield, passes across court with 8 on the shot clock. Long 3-pointer from Darius Wright. Off to the right, rebound Jackie Harris. Harris is the best rebounder for the Gray Wolves. He grabs one right there. 3-point attempt for Coleman, a little bit too strong. Rebound grabbed by Wright. A little bit of a scoring lull all of a sudden. Darius Wright trying to break that, but he's blocked out of bounds by Stephen Coleman. It'll stay with the Fighting Saints, 24 to shoot. And St. Francis goes back to their bench. E.J. Charles heads out. Lewis McGlasson comes in. McGlasson, another guy who played well against Roosevelt earlier this week. Sees his first action today. Wide open 3. Darius Wright rattles it home. Third 3-pointer of the game for St. Francis. They've come from 3 different players. Darius Wright gives the Fighting Saints their biggest lead so far. In fact, it's the first lead for either team of greater than 1 possession. Corner 3-pointer in response, no good from Coleman. And Anabadarte grabs the rebound. Jalen Reno loses a handle on it, and it's picked up by Charles Swain. One-on-one with Fahey. Swain too hard on the layup. The rebound is tipped out to Lewis McGlasson. The Fighting Saints take over. Reno did not have numbers, so he slows it down. Aitor Anabadarte in the corner. The junior center bounces it into Carter Fahey. Senior forward turnaround comes up short. 6 early points for Fahey. He's missed on his last couple, though. Good drive, no finish from Holifield, but Coleman is there with the follow. Stephen Coleman Jr. has his first bucket today, and he pulls the Gray Wolves to within 4. Almost 7 minutes gone in a very fast-paced game. Just 1 foul so far. It came on the opening possession as Jalen Reno knocks down a 3. Fourth Saint already with a 3-pointer today. This team came into play shooting just 32% as a team from the outside. But they have stepped up big in that category today, and they've opened up now a 7-point lead. Jackie Harris in response hits a 3 of his own. Quiet offensive start for Lourdes' leading scorer and rebounder, but Harris is on the board now. Just a 32% 3-point shooter himself, but he makes it a 4-point game. Reno fakes, and he's fouled by Little Anderson. 12:22 on the clock. It's the first stoppage we've had in a long time. I think the ball was knocked out of bounds couple of minutes ago, but that was the last time. Ryan Marks uses the opportunity to make some substitutions. Rehana Maxwell-Topia is in, as is Ibrahim Mobayed. So Darius Wright's the only starter on the floor right now. Dennis Hobson has gone to his bench as well, but Lewis McGlasson knocks down a three-pointer, the 5th Fighting Saint to hit a 3 today. The new point guard on the floor for Lourdes, Brett Louth, takes the ball across half court. Louth, the first sub to be used today, came on for Little Anderson, Little Anderson's still out there. Came in for Charles Swain during that last stop. There's a nice little drive from Joey Holyfield, who lays it in. Five-point lead for St. Francis. Stripped from McGlasson, ball loose on the floor. And what do we have here? Out of bounds off of Lourdes. Good effort by Stephen Coleman Jr. diving on the floor to try to pull that one in, but he slid over the brown line as he was doing so. So it is St. Francis basketball. 16 on the shot clock. Cliff Snow comes in, fifth-year senior for Lourdes. Coleman to the bench. One dribble from McGlasson, double teamed. Gets it off to Maxwell-Topia. Rehana Maxwell-Topia works the baseline, shovels it out to Reno. Three-pointer at the buzzer, gets the rim, but cannot convert. Rebound to Lourdes. Down by 5. Nearly halfway through this first period already. Just one foul for either side. Not a ton of turnovers early on as Jackie Harris comes around the screen. Good cut as he finishes with the layup. 5 points for Jackie Harris. It's a one-score game again. This is where we're more comfortable anyway. This one's been played within 2 or 3 points in either direction most of the way so far. Rehana Maxwell-Topia, one dribble, layup, got it, and a foul. Good ball movement from the Fighting Saints, and Rehana Maxwell-Topia finishes strong at the rim. He's got his first points, and he'll try to add one more from the free throw line. First foul on Jackie Harris as Jordique Vincent checks in for Lourdes. Little Anderson heads out. Just the second foul on Lourdes. 9.5 minutes into this game, we've seen only 3 total fouls combined. Maxwell-Topia misses on the free throw. 5-point game. Harris into a double team. Now working one-on-one against Maxwell-Topia. Turnaround comes up too strong off the back iron. Quickly working ahead. McGlasson fires the 3. That's off the mark. Battle for the rebound won by Jackie Harris. Gray Wolves slow it down with their 6th-year senior Brett Louth at point guard. Transfer from Grand Valley State. Louth bounces to Harris. Down low, Holyfield scores and one. Joey Holyfield, the 6'1 guard, working well in the post. So Jalen Reno is called for his first foul, second on the team. Joey Holyfield trying to make this a 3-point play. He hit on both free throws last chance, and now he's 3 for 3 in the ball game. And he has matched Jackie Harris with his team leading 5 points. Jake Carley is in for the Saints. Carley wearing number 24 in white. This is Maxwell-Topia from the free throw line. Working against Vincent, and that's 3 seconds. He got rid of the ball, but he didn't get himself out of the painted area fast enough. So the Saints turn it over. Lourdes down by 2. They can take their first lead in a little while with a 3-pointer on this possession. Trying to tie it up at the least. Holyfield spins around. Reno gets to the basket and lays it in. Ryan Marks thought there was a little hook with the arm of Holyfield. Call does not go the Saints' way, and now a steal. Brett Lauf shovels it off. Snow to Holyfield, a layup once again, and a timeout called by St. Francis. 7 straight points for Joey Holyfield. He's got 10 for the game. 9 for the game, sorry. 9 for the game for Holyfield to lead all scorers as Lourdes is on top 25-23. First lead for the Gray Wolves since they were up 7-6. But we've seen an exciting first half here between St. Francis and Lourdes. First time these two schools have ever gone head-to-head. I know that Lourdes head coach Dennis Hobson has been vocal about wanting to see the offense get in gear a little bit. They've struggled to score their last couple of games. One of those games was a win over Siena Heights, but still held under 70 points in back-to-back contests. Today, they're on pace to blow well past that, as are the Fighting Saints. So we've got a very good game brewing here. We'll see if it plays out that way as we go, but already 4 lead changes, 4 ties in this game. We've seen some really solid offense from both sides, which is always fun. Both teams shooting the basketball well, both teams protecting the basketball pretty well. And both teams are doing a good job of avoiding fouls. So we've had a real flow to this one early on. St. Francis comes out of the timeout with the basketball in their possession. First of 4 games to be played here this weekend. East-West takes on Eureka after this is over. Step back 3 from McGlasson is an air ball. And Lourdes can extend their lead. This is Harris on the outside. Up top, Cliff Snow. Snow puts it on the floor, driving to the right side, stripped, gets it back. 5 on the shot clock. Snow, wide open 3, misses it short. And the rebound is grabbed by Holyfield. He's been so strong tonight. Long 2 misses from Jordique Vincent. St. Francis comes away with it. And they throw it away. So turnover committed by the Fighting Saints, sends it right back to Lourdes. Saints playing with 5 subs on the floor right now, including Casimir Ochiaka, who just checked in during the timeout. Lauf passes off to Holyfield. Joey Holyfield's been at the center of the action so far tonight. Deflected away by Maxwell Topia. Reno picks up the loose ball. Jalen Reno drives to the left side, loses his footing, and he's fouled by Holyfield. Eureka College has entered the building. We'll get a chance to scout these teams out a little bit. They'll take on the Fighting Saints tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Lourdes will play East-West tomorrow. Reno's first free throw misses long. Foul was called on Joey Holyfield, his first. E.J. Charles checks in for Lewis McGlasson. Reno gets 1 more free throw here. Reno scored 9 in his regular season debut against Roosevelt on Wednesday. Didn't shoot any free throws in that game. He makes 1 of 2 here. Pulls the Saints to within 1 and checks out. Nadav Gurner back in. Starting point guard for the Fighting Saints. Gurner hit an early 3-pointer. 1 of 5 Fighting Saints with a 3-pointer made today. Holyfield drives, passes, and is deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with the Gray Wolves. Jumper for Snow is perfect. Saints lost track of him on the inbounds play. And Snow has his first bucket today, extending the Lourdes lead to 3. This is their biggest lead of the game so far. Charles Backs it on Snow, kicks it out to Gerner. Gerner drives right side, up off the glass, no good, but a foul. Nadav Gerner heads to the free throw line. Second foul on Jackie Harris, and that could be a costly one for Lourdes. Harris has been their best player this season. Hasn't necessarily been their best player tonight, but he's got 5 points. You don't want to lose him for an extended period. He's likely done for the half, you would think. Gerner misses on the first free throw. Nadav Gerner 3 of 5 from the foul line so far this year. Harris departs with his 2 fouls. He's replaced by Marcus Larson. Larson's a senior forward from Oslo, Norway. Attended high school at Long Tapadrets. I'm about 99% sure I pronounced that wrong, but I figured I'd take a shot. 1 of 2 for Gerner. 2-point game. Lauf drives and kicks. This is Larson off to the left side. Back off the hands of Larson, but it finds Snow. Johnny on the spot on that play. It looked like a turnover. In the corner, Lauf shovels it outside. 3-pointer for Vincent is tipped by E.J. Charles and thrown away by Larson. Looked like Lourdes had saved it, but now the Saints throw it right back. Lauf to Larson going to the rim, and he's fouled by Ochiaka. Frenetic pace over the last few moments. So that sequence ends with 2 free throws coming up for Lourdes. Marcus Larson just checked in for Harris a moment ago, and he's been heavily involved already. First of 2 free throws is short. Not a great looking stroke there from Larson, but he's been good for the season, 71% from the line. 7 points per game for Larson off the bench this season. One of 2. Nadav Gerner walks it up for the Fighting Saints with 6:20 to play in the first half. Saints have led the majority of the way, but we've seen this game go back and forth several times. DJ Charles throws an interception for the second consecutive possession, tries to get it back, but it's deflected out to Brett Lauf, and Lourdes sets it up. Lauf left side, 1 dribble, no look pass behind him. This is Nordique Vincent, 2-point jumper is good. Lourdes has their biggest lead of the evening, 30-25. Capitalizing on the St. Francis turnovers. Back-to-back turnovers have led to 3 points. Charles in the corner, fires way across court and out of bounds. E.J. Charles is struggling right now. He's turned it over on 3 consecutive possessions, all of them on errant passes. And that time probably just an unnecessary pass all the way across court. And a little bit too high. Trying to find Jake Carley. This is Larson down low, backing in on Ochiaka. Larson, jump stop in the paint. Misses wildly on the shot. That may have been blocked by Charles, or it may have been blocked by Ochiaka. Let's see who got his hand on it, but it was a wildly missed shot as Charles knocks down a 3. It's a good way to forget about a couple of turnovers. Charles has been struggling offensively, but he hits his second 3-pointer of the game, and Lourdes calls the timeout for the first time today. 5:13 to play first half. Lourdes maintains a 2-point lead, but a much-needed 3-pointer for E.J. Charles for a Saints team that has been struggling to score from the field in the last few minutes. That gets him going once again. They've made 6 3-pointers today from 5 different players. That's the first time anybody's hit a second. St. Francis so far from beyond the arc today is 5 for 10. And that's really served them well during a period where Lourdes was trying to create a little separation. No such luck. Actually, they had been 5 of 10. They're 6 of 11 now. I just said they had made 6 in the game. So 6 of 11 after that Charles 3-pointer. Lourdes has not shot well from the outside, just 2 of 8. But they have been outstanding, shooting 64% on two-pointers so far, led by Joey Holyfield. He's got 11 points on 4 of 5 from the field. E.J. Charles and Carter Fahey have 6 points each to pace the Fighting Saints thus far. Lourdes comes out of the timeout with Larson, Snow, Little Anderson back out there. Nick Borojevich on for the first time, and Brett Lauf. Gerner, Anabadarte, Fahey, Charles, and Wright, the 5 starters, are on the floor for the Fighting Saints. Three-pointer, Borojevich is good. Nick Borojevich, freshman guard, pops off the bench and immediately makes a contribution. Good-looking stroke from the freshman right there. Borojevich hits his 3rd three-pointer of the season in limited action. Here's Darius Wright passing up top to E.J. Charles. To the cutting Fahey, out to an open shooter. Wright hits another 3. 7 of 12 from three-point range today for the Fighting Saints. They've had a lot of good looks. Borojevich hit one on the last possession for Lourdes. This time he passes away. Gets it back on the right wing. He's guarded by Charles. Up top, Larson. Hand off to Lauf. Little contact with Fahey. No whistle. Little Anderson in the corner. Way off on the three-pointer. An offensive rebound. That one did not hit the rim. Shot clock's at 5. Larson. Traveled, I think. Yep, that is the call. So it's a turnover committed by Lourdes. 4:02 to play in the first half. We've got a good one going here. Not many turnovers early. They've picked up lately. Saints have committed 7, including just a few moments ago on 3 consecutive possessions. That's the 6th turnover of the game for Lourdes. Anabadarte gives the screen to Wright, who bounces low to Fahey. Fahey back out to Darius Wright. Shot clock down under 10. Carter Fahey, 2 dribbles, lobs it for Anabadarte. Shot clock running down. Jumper over Little Anderson, misses a little bit short. The shot clock at 2 seconds. Didn't have much choice but to get that one up. Late in the first half now, Lourdes has the ball with a 2-point lead. Looking to add to that lead, it's Anderson stepping in from the left side, backing right back out. In the post, Larson spins around Fahey, up and in. That was Jackie Harris rather than Larson. Harris just checked back in with 2 fouls for the Gray Wolves. And he's got 7 points now as Lourdes extends their lead to 4. Their biggest has been 5. E.J. Charles in the corner, dribbles it out of bounds. Looked like he wanted the 3. Credit to Snow. That's good closeout defense by Cliff Snow. He got a hand in Charles's face, forced the drive instead, and off the first dribble, looked like Charles hit it right off his foot and out of bounds. So he heads to the bench. Lewis McGlasson back in. Jalen Reno is back on the floor for Nadav Gerner. Brett Lauf crosses over to the left. Fires it out to Harris. 3-point attempt for Jackie Harris. That's a perfect looking stroke right there. Harris has hit 2 3-pointers now in the game. And he's the second Gray Wolf in double figures. 10 points for Harris. McGlasson tries to answer. Too strong on the 3-pointer. Offensive rebound, Anabadarte. Saints need some points right here as Lourdes has really started to put that offensive pressure on him. Reno not able to hit the 3. And the rebound goes to Cliff Snow. The Saints have shot so well from the outside. Those 2 shots, though, maybe not the best selections as Cliff Snow banks one in, absorbing the contact. Cliff Snow has played well off the bench. 4 points for him. And Lourdes has built a 9-point lead. This is the biggest for either side so far today. Darius Wright around the screen. Fires down low to Fahey. Baseline jumper is off. The rebound deflects into the hands of Darius Wright to Anabadarte. Reverse layup gets the Saints back on the board. That snaps a 7-0 Lourdes run. And it pulls the Saints back within 7. First 2 points of the game for Aitor Anabadarte. And now a big final 90 seconds of the half for St. Francis. Jackie Harris fires another three. This one's off the mark. Rebound deflected outside. Reno scoops it up, and now McGlasson has some room down low, lays it in. On the break, great transition bucket for the Fighting Saints. It's a 5-point deficit. Said it was a big final 90 seconds. Lourdes had moved ahead by 9. Here's Carter Fahey jumping the passing lane and stealing it. 3-on-1. Fahey takes it himself and scores. 8 points for him. And the Saints have responded beautifully to that challenge that was posed over the final minute and a half. Can they keep it close within single digits and leave themselves in position to make a run in the second half? Lourdes had the opportunity to pull away. They didn't do it. They've turned it over a few times, and the Saints have taken advantage. Here's Snow on the right. Snow, dribble drive, stripped by Wright. Here come the Saints. Darius Wright blocked out of bounds by Little Anderson. That's a big block by Anderson. But the Saints will keep it with 22 seconds. And the shot clock is off. Reno to inbound. Lobs it in for Anabadarte. McGlasson takes it outside as the Saints slow it down a bit. They don't want to give Lourdes too many more opportunities this half, so it looks like St. Francis will try to hold for one shot. Jalen Reno back at half court. 5 seconds to play. Reno works to his left. With 1 on the clock, he throws it away. 1/10 of a second showing on the clock, so not enough time for Lourdes to get a shot off. We will go in a halftime with the visiting Gray Wolves in front. 40-37 is the score. And there's the buzzer officially. So St. Francis led for much of the first half. Lourdes went on a really nice run late. They built a 9-point lead, but St. Francis wraps up the period with 6 consecutive points of their own. So we'll go in a halftime with St. Francis trailing Lourdes by a score of 40-37. Back in about 15 minutes with second half action. Fighting Saints trying to move above 500. Day 1 of the USF Thanksgiving Classic. getting set to start the second half here at St. Francis. USF trails Lourdes 40-37. Terry Bonadonna back with you for another 20 minutes of hoops coming up. Let's take a look at some of the first half stats. A lot of offense early. Lourdes shot the balls very well, 53% from the field, 33% on three-pointers. St. Francis 52% overall, 50%, 7 of 14 from beyond the arc. They turned it over 9 times, which was a worsening problem as the first half went on. Lourdes turned it over 8 times. Fighting Saints are led by Carter Fahey, who's got 8 points on 4 of 7 shooting. Lourdes got 11 points out of Joey Holyfield in the first half. He also had 3 assists. Good first half as well for Jackie Harris. Harris had 10 points. He led the team with 4 rebounds. He did pick up 2 fouls, though, so that's something to watch out for a little bit as we go forward in this game. Rebounding was 16-14 in favor of Lourdes. Fighting Saints were led on the glass by Aitor Anabararte, who had a team-high 3 rebounds. 40-37 our score. We saw a lot of back-and-forth action early on. The Saints built up a little bit of a lead, and then the Gray Wolves went on a run. They had a 9-point lead before St. Francis ended the first half on a 6-0 run. 4 ties, 4 lead changes overall in the first half. This one looks awfully even matched so far. We should be gearing up for a pretty good finish to this ball game as the second half begins with the 10 starters on the floor. Nadav Gerner receives the inbounds pass, and away we go. They've flipped sides. St. Francis going left to right now. Possession arrow flips off to Lourdes. E.J. Charles walks it to the right side. Charles had 6 points in the first half. Darius Wright rims out on the three-pointer. And the rebound goes to Stephen Coleman Jr., the freshman from Toledo. Lourdes University is located in Ohio technically, but right on the Ohio-Michigan border. We've got a foul coming up. Joey Holyfield goes to the basket and gets himself to the line for the 3rd time today. Holyfield was fouled going to the hoop on the first possession of the first half. And now the exact same story here on the first possession of the second half. He's 3 of 3 on the free throw line today. That foul called on Aitor Anabararte, his first. Holyfield extends his point total to a game-high 12. I don't know where these guys would stand on the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry that played out today. I mean, I guess it would be different depending on the player, but I mean in general, the Lourdes population. Right near Toledo. Lourdes' lead is up to 5. That snaps a 6-0 St. Francis run that had lasted about 20 minutes, including halftime. Not in game time, in real time, 20 minutes. It's been a while since Lourdes had scored, but they're back on the board now as St. Francis tries to strike the scoreboard for their first time in the second half, and they do, thanks to Aitor Anabararte. A lot of contact down low, but the refs have been letting them play by and large tonight. Aitor Anabararte is able to fight it up and in anyway. 3-point game. Same as it was at halftime. Deep 3 for Jackie Harris. He hit 2 of them in the first half, but he misses this time. Ball ripped out of the hands of E.J. Charles, but he scrambles to get it back. Here comes Nadav Gerner. Gerner bounced down low for Fahey. Out to Charles. Charles, nice fake, a drive. He slips and he's tripped. He'll go to the line. Assuming he's able. He's shaken up after a pretty good fall there. Nice move by Charles as he got the ball outside, made his man miss with a quick fake to the left before driving into the right side, and then lost his footing. It was hard to see if he was tripped or if he bumped knees with somebody or what happened on his way to the basket, but he came tumbling to the ground and just sort of flipped the ball up there as he did so. So it is a shooting foul. He is going to go to the line for 2 shots once he's ready. They're taking a look right now at his left leg. Looks like the lower leg, maybe around the ankle, is where E.J. Charles is struggling right now. Charles had an up and down first half. He is pulled to his feet. Looks like he'll be able to stay in to take the foul shot, so that's a good sign. Charles had 6 points, hit a couple of three-pointers, a few nice defensive plays as well. He did at one point, though, turn it over on 4 consecutive possessions. So like I said, up and down. There was definitely some positive in there, some negative as well. And that's kind of been the season for Charles so far. He was the leading scorer to return from last year's team, but off to a slow start so far this season. Just 17 points combined in the first 2 regular season games. He did have 15 in an exhibition down in Louisiana last week. He misses the first free throw here. One more to make it a 2-point game. Lewis McGlasson is going to the scores table, so if he makes this one, he'll likely be pulled for McGlasson. That is the case. So it's good that he was able to stay in to take the free throws, but still a little bit ginger as he heads to the bench. So we'll take a few minutes, get that looked at, and hopefully he's ready to get back out there soon. 2-point game. Lourdes has led ever since it was 27, or rather 25 to 23 in the first half, as Little Anderson knocks down the 2-point jumper. 6 points for Anderson, and they maintain that lead that they've held for a while now. Fahey with his back to the basket, deep in the corner, starts to work his way inside, turnaround off the backboard, no good. Rebound Jackie Harris. Here's Anderson. Anderson drives with the left hand, picks up the dribble, kicks it out. This is Swain. Coleman to Harris in the post, working against Anabadarte. Jackie Harris up with the left hand, nice touch. First points of the half for Jackie Harris. He's got 12 points for the game. Lourdes builds their lead back to 6. Anabadarte up top to right. Darius Wright drives to the right hand, blocked by Coleman. Here comes Holyfield around McGlasson and all the way to the rim. There were 4 white shirts there, only 1 black shirt, but Holyfield was simply faster than all of the Saints in pursuit. 6 straight points scored by the Gray Wolves. Saints try to respond. Here Nadav Gerner is held by Charles Swain. Foul called.
Foul called number 13, Charles Swain, his first team's
Second foul on Lourdes. It's the first on Swain. Only Harris is in any foul trouble, even minor foul trouble so far today. Jackie Harris has 2. Nobody else has more than 1 so far. And the 2 fouls really are not even that huge a concern at this stage of the game now that we're over 3 minutes into the second half, although Harris is a guy who plays big minutes for Dennis Hobson. So he can't afford to get in any further trouble with the fouls. Gerner looking for help, lobs it in for Fahey, and it's poked away by Little Anderson. That one hit the bottom of the backboard, or maybe the back of the backboard. So it'll still be St. Francis basketball. Anderson tipped it off the back of the backboard, so that's technically out of bounds. The Saints catch a break. That was looking like a turnover. Instead, they get to inbound it again. Right to Gerner. Gerner, dribble inside, kick back out. McGlasson in the corner. Carter Fahey, 1 dribble. He's in some trouble, forces one up and gets the roll. Jackie Harris gave him just a little bit too much space after he'd already lost his dribble. And Fahey, with the shot clock running down, knew he had to get one off. Nice job. He's got 10 points. Tops on the Saints. Harris for 3. Good. Third 3-pointer of the game for Jackie Harris. He's got 15 now. And Lourdes matches their largest lead of the day at 9 points. Darius Wright pull-up jump shot is good.
Darius
Saints are using every part of the rim on their last couple of shots. It's working out for them. Back-to-back buckets for St. Francis. Holyfield pull-up jumper, rims out. Rebound Anabadarte, who throws it away. Little Anderson gets the steal. Anderson picks up his dribble, kicks it out to Harris. Harris has been tough to stop from the outside. Hasn't done a lot of work in the post today. Now he backs in on Anabadarte, tries to bank it in, but missed it a little bit too strong. Here's Carter Fahey for the Saints. And a foul called on Stephen Coleman Jr. Third of the half on Lourdes. Coleman is whistled for his first. Bounced into Anabadarte, handoff Gerner, who tries to give it up down low to Fahey. Maybe the pass was a little wide. Looked like maybe Fahey wasn't quite expecting it. Ends up going out of bounds for another turnover. Holyfield across half court. Gives it up to Charles Swain. This is Coleman against Anabadarte. Nice job by Aitor, sticking with him so far. Into the post, Harris works against Fahey. Kicked out to Anderson. Anderson around right, all the way to the hoop. No, sir. Offensive rebound, Holyfield, but he was standing on the baseline. And it's going St. Francis's way. The defense holds up. And the Saints go to their bench. Jalen Reno in for Nadav Gerner. Brett Lauf is back in for Lourdes. Charles Swain sits down. Anabadarte passes off to Reno on the right side. Up top, Lewis McGlasson. Into Carter Fahey. Fahey bounces down low. Aitor Anabadarte, reverse layup. Assisted by Fahey. Aitor Anabadarte has done some good work in the paint today. 6 points for him. Pulls the Saints to within 5 as Darius Wright knocks the ball loose. McGlasson scoops up the loose ball ahead to Reno. Reno, no good. Anabadarte there for the follow. That misses. Another chance for Anabadarte, and this time it's good. Third opportunity. Aitor Anabadarte beefs up his rebounding numbers before grabbing his fourth field goal of the game. And a timeout is called by Lourdes as their 9-point lead has been cut to 3. Second time that's happened today. Lourdes has led by 9, and both times the Saints have scored the next 6 points in a row to get themselves back in it. Saints led for a good portion of the first half, more than half the first half, in fact. They had the lead, and it hasn't worked out that way so far in the second half. Lourdes pulled ahead. They've not looked back, but the Fighting Saints are at least making them think about it. 4 ties, 4 lead changes in the first half. None so far here in the second, but the Saints are not letting the Grey Wolves out of their sights. And Aitor Anabadarte has scored the last 4 for St. Francis. He's got 8 points now. Carter Fahey still leads the way with 10. Lourdes has now gotten 15 out of both Joey Holyfield and Jackie Harris. These two teams trading punches. Right now it is Lourdes in front. They'll have the ball across half court after the timeout is completed. They just called this timeout following the St. Francis made basket off the turnover. McGlasson, Reno, Fahey, Maxwell Topia, Wright on the floor for the Saints. Harris, Anderson, Lauf, Snow, and Holyfield are the current players for Lourdes. Still a long way to go in this game, just under 14 minutes still on the clock. Lauf crosses half court and passes over to his left through the hands of Holyfield and out of bounds. Got to be frustrating for Dennis Hobson. You call timeout, you draw up a play, and you don't even get a chance to run it because immediately after the ball is inbounded, just a physical mistake. The ball slipped through his hands out of bounds. Reno passes to McGlasson. Off to Maxwell Topia on the right side. He drives around Harris, dishes into the corner. Next pass to McGlasson. Three-pointer ties the score. McGlasson's got his second three of the game. 8 points for the junior from Scotland. And we're knotted up for the first time since it was 23 all. A steal for Reno. It hit off his foot, though. So after the takeaway, they called a kicked ball. Stays with Lourdes. Shot clock at 20. Cliff Snow up top. One bounce, looking for help. Finds Holyfield. Holyfield backs in on McGlasson. Turn around all the way to the rim. No foul called, and we're going the other way. Rehana Maxwell Topia into traffic. He's blocked out of bounds. No foul there either. A lot of contact inside, but it's been consistent throughout this game. These officials have really let them play, and it's made for a fun basketball game. Guys got hit on both sides towards the hoop, but no foul called either way. So the Saints set up once again. Shot clock running down from 25. It's Rehana Maxwell Topia who travels. (51-51). We're tied with 12.5 minutes to play. Inside to a cutting Brett Lauf, blocked from behind by Maxwell Topia, but fouled from in front by Jalen Reno. Brett Lauf is going to the free throw line.
St. Francis foul number 1, Jalen Renault. His second.
Second foul on Jalen Reno. It's the second on the team as well. Brett Lauf is 3 of 4 from the line this year and makes the first. Lauf has played a lot of minutes tonight. He makes 2 of 2, his first points of the game. Lourdes is back in front, 53-51. Saints can tie or take the lead here. Carter Fahey. Up top to McGlasson. Those free throws for Lourdes snapped a 9-0 St. Francis run. Saints are trying to get them right back. Darius Wright gets it and ties the score at 53. That one bounced off the front of the rim and then seemed to hang in the air forever before finally falling. 11-2 is the St. Francis run. Harris trying to put an end to that. Misses the three-point attempt. And a foul is called, I believe, on McGlasson here at the Fighting Saints.
St. Francis foul number 33. Lewis McGlasson is
First on McGlasson. Casimir Ochiaka is in for Carter Fahey. And Aitor Anabadarte checks in for Darius Wright. So we'll get a little extra size with that substitution. Anabadarte got a short rest, back out there now. Ochiaka knocks it away from Jackie Harris out of bounds. He'll stay with Lourdes. Wow, corner three, no. Rebound tapped around and out to Little Anderson. Anderson's three misses. Rebound, Aitor Anabadarte. 7th rebound of the game for the junior from Spain. There's Ochiaka scoring his first points and putting St. Francis on top. for the first time since it was 23-22. The foul on the Saints on the attempted steal. Jalen Reno is called for his third. The last two have been like that, going for the steal and getting more player than ball. Cliff Snow will inbound. Snow in the post. Backs in on Anabadarte. Gives it up to the cutting Harris, who scores +1.
Found the basket for Jackie Harris.
Lourdes led by 9. St. Francis went on a 13-2 run.
Foul number 23, Casimir Ochaka.
The Lourdes is not going to let them pull away, not right now. Second foul on Ochiaka. That's already the 5th on St. Francis. First half was so clean in that regard. Things getting a little bit more physical here down the stretch. Jackie Harris looking for his 18th point of the game. He's got it. Lourdes back in front. 6th lead change we've had today. Aitor Anabadarte surveys the scene, finds Reno on his left. Down to the corner, it's Maxwell Topia for 3, no. Rebound, Anabadarte, one dribble, gives it up, Ochiaka blocked from behind, another chance, no. 3 chances for the Saints, couldn't make it work out, but they'll get another one as Lourdes knocks the rebound out the baseline. Reno into Ochiaka, 3 defenders immediately around him. He dribbles along the baseline, misses the layup, and on a fight for the rebound, we've got a foul on Little Anderson and Lourdes.
Foul called on number 14, Little Anderson, his second, team's 4th.
Reno gets it into Anabadarte. Off to Maxwell Topia from the corner, working on Anderson. Jump stop inside, kicks it out to Reno. Reno works the baseline, gives it up, ball loose. Who's got it? It's a tie-up, I think. Possession arrow going the other way. So it will be Lourdes basketball with 10:14 to play. The Gray Wolves have a 1-point lead. And they get a stop thanks to the turnover. Carter Fahey's coming back in. Ochiaka's heading out. Ten points tonight for Fahey as he returns to the floor. Just about halfway through this second half. Lauf walks it down to the three-point line and drills a 3. No passes necessary from Lauf on that possession. Got a screen, he was never picked up. And so he just stepped down the floor and drained it in the Fighting Saints' faces. Fahey. Down low to Anabadarte. Nice catch around Harris and sends it in. 10 points for Aitor Anabadarte. 2-point game. Lauf to the corner for Anderson. Here's Holyfield. Holyfield stripped, ball loose, secured by Lauf. Brett Lauf takes it in, bounces to Harris, layup, no. Put back effort from Holyfield misses, but there's Snow with a third chance. Lourdes by 4. Turnabout's fair play. The Saints had a 3-chance score just a moment ago. Fahey walks to the left, bounces down low to Anabadarte. Double team from behind and blocked from behind by Cliff Snow. Big possession here for the Fighting Saints defense. Lauf drives and kicks. Holyfield, open three. No good. And St. Francis caught a break there because he was wide open. A good shot selection for Holyfield. Did not go his way. Fahey is fouled. I believe that's Harris, and that would be his third.
Foul called on number 34, Jackie Harris, his third, team's fifth.
Team's fifth. Both teams have 5. Nadav Gerner and Darius Brooks are coming back in for the Fighting Saints. Darius Wright, rather. Rihanna Maxwell Topia and Lewis McGlasson head out. We have not seen E.J. Charles since he left with an injury earlier in this second half. He went down going up for a basket. He was fouled, tumbled to the ground. He took a look at his leg and he limped back towards the bench, but he is sitting behind the rest of the team on the bench right now, which is an indicator he might not be going the rest of the game. 61-58 is our score, 1 of 2 from the line. Lauf gets the handoff from Harris. Down to the corner, Snow for 3. Short. Rebound Reno. Under 8 minutes to play. Carter Fahey drives the left hand, spins. Puts it up, no good. Rebound Harris. Lauf walks it to the right and bounces down low to Harris. Jackie Harris against Carter Fahey. Turnaround with the right hand. Doesn't have the touch this time. Still a 1-score game. The Saints have very briefly led in this half. Jalen Reno, one dribble, layup, halfway down, didn't go. Gerner saves the rebound to Aitor Anabadarte. He's blocked but fouled. Cliff Snow threw his hands up in disbelief. It is Snow's foul. It's the 6th on the team. So the Fighting Saints will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Anabadarte gets 2 shots here. First is good. Larson in for Harris for Lourdes. Reno sits down for the Saints. Justin Phillips is in. Aitor Anabadarte's free throw is good. He goes 2 of 2. Ochiaka in for Fahey. 12 points for Aitor Anabadarte. He leads the team now. He's closed in on a double-double as well. 1-point game here. Not a time for Lourdes to rest on their laurels. Holyfield loses the ball, picked up by Phillips. Looking ahead for Gerner and deflected out of bounds. St. Francis can tie or take the lead here. Gerner gets it into Anabadarte. Nadav Gerner dribbling with the left, backs up. 15 to shoot. Ochiaka takes that shot and gets fouled by Larson. Marcus Larson's first foul.
Number 41, Marcus Larson, his first.
Sends the Saints to the line with a chance to tie on the first shot and lead on the second shot. 7th team foul. Means we'll see free throws on the Mall from here on out. Ochiaka's first shot misses, so the best he can hope for now is a tie. He's just 1 of 4 from the line this year. Missed them both. Rebound deflected into the hands of Joey Holyfield. Gray Wolves are 4-2 coming into play today. They've not lost a game this season when leading at halftime. Jumper, perfect. Good shot, nice little drive from Jordique Vincent. Still a one-score game. Out of it, Arte, out to Phillips. Ochiaka picks up his dribble and gives it to Gerner. Out of it, Arte, working down low, loses the ball. Snow takes it away. A steal for Cliff Snow. Lourdes can make this an all-important 2-possession lead. Larson, handoff to Lauf. Pass back to the right, it's Cliff Snow. Shot clock at 7. Snow, crossover, down the lane, pull-up jumper, no good. Larson's there for the tip. After they cut it to 1, the Saints have seen Lourdes score the last 4 points. Reno bounces to Wright. Wright tries the 3, off the mark. Holyfield was in his face. It looked like Wright decided he wasn't going to take it. Just fake. He ended up shooting it anyway, and it was off the mark. Lauf loses the handle on it. It's because he's fouled. Third foul on Casimir Ochiaka. Timeout called. 4:48 to play. Lourdes has led almost the entire second half. St. Francis has led for maybe 10 seconds or so during the proceedings. The Great Wolves have held a lead of as many as 9 points. In fact, they've done that twice. But the Saints have not been deterred. But now with the game hanging in the balance, they have not had a shot maker step up. Lourdes has been able to hang on to this lead. Right after this game, East-West takes on Eureka. Tomorrow, the Saints see Eureka. And the Gray Wolves see East-West University, who have been here since it all started. Watching it from their corner off on the left side, but both teams have cleared out to get themselves dressed and ready to go for round 2, which is coming up just a half hour after this game ends. Saints come out of the timeout with a little full court press on. Still playing without E.J. Charles, who looks to be done for the day. Hurt his leg early in this second half and has not returned. Jumper by Vincent off the inbounds play, no good, but the rebound is tipped out to Lauf. They'll try it again. This time it's intercepted by Maxwell Topia, but he loses it as Snow strips it right back. Vincent inside, comes up short. Offensive rebound, second chance Holyfield, he's fouled. Both teams are in the bonus now. That's the second foul on Nadav Gerner. And Holyfield will get 2 shots. He's perfect from the line so far. He makes this one as well. 16 for Joey Holyfield. Still perfect. 7-point game. 6 in a row for Lourdes. Saints been going through a little bit of a dry spell here. Darius Wright. Bounce down low to Fahey. Fahey backs in, kicks out. Maxwell Topia, 3-ball. No. Fahey grabs the long rebound. Sent outside to Reno. Jalen Reno gets bumped, but puts it in anyway. Nice drive by Jalen Reno, and now there's a man down for the Gray Wolves. 3:54 to play, 67-62. A game that has seemed close at all times, even the brief occasions when it really wasn't. This should be an exciting final 4 minutes. Saints press here. Ball's inbounded to Lauf. Lauf walks across the timeline. Shadowed by Reno. Holyfield to the corner for Vincent. Vincent from the baseline hits the jumper. St. Francis needs a bucket right here. Anabadarte inside against Marcus Larson. He's tripped by Larson. And Aitor Anabadarte is going to the free throw line. Anabadarte certainly at times today has been the best player on the floor for St. Francis. And he's certainly been good from the line. 2 of 2 so far. Anabadarte leads the team in scoring at 12 points. There's number 13. He's got a double-double with 11 rebounds to go along with his 13 points. Maxwell Topia in for Gerner. Second shot is good. Keeping the Saints alive here. They get a pair of free throws, down by just 5. Little two-man game back and forth here, down to the corner for Snow, back outside. And a whistle well away from the ball. We got a foul on St. Francis. Carter Fahey, I didn't see the foul, but he was all the way on the other side of the court from where the ball was. So I'm sure not a great foul. As Marcus Larson has a chance to match what Aitor Anabadarte did on the other end. Make a couple of free throws. You don't think that often with catchers. The rim, the first one is good. But big guys shooting their free throws well today. McGlasson is in for Maxwell Topia. Larson hits them both. Keeping the Saints at arm's length here, 71-64. St. Francis has led for less than a minute of this second half. Doesn't mean they can't come back and pull off the victory. They saw it happen against them just 3 days ago, or 4 days ago. Darius Wright loses the ball, knocked out of bounds by Lourdes. And their loss to Roosevelt on Tuesday, the Saints led almost the whole way. Roosevelt took their first lead of the second half in the closing seconds. Carter Fahey, with 3 defenders around him, misses from close range. Gray Wolves basketball. The Saints led that game by 7 points with a minute left against Roosevelt. So again, doesn't take a lot of time to erase a deficit like that when you're making your shots. Little fadeaway is perfect from Jordique Vincent. So now a 9-point lead for Lourdes. Matches their biggest today. Wright on the outside, drives right to the basket. Yes, and he's fouled by Vincent. Huge bucket for the Fighting Saints, who had really been struggling to score. And now they are back on the board with under 2 minutes, a chance to make this a 3-point play. It had been a rough patch for the Fighting Saints. They're 1 of 5 from behind the 3-point line this half after going 7 of 14 in the first half. So to be able to get a 3-pointer the old-fashioned way is a nice boost. 6-point game, 13 now for Darius Wright. Brett Luff goes in front of his bench and calls timeout. 1:47 to play. 73-67. Lourdes would seem to be in a good position in this one, and they are in a good position. But again, Saints saw a lead like this disappear very quickly on Tuesday night. It happened to them in that one. They're trying to do it to somebody else today. Saints led most of the first half. Lourdes has led most of the second half. We've had a total today of 7 ties and 6 lead changes, but most of that was in the first half. Neither team has played offense quite as well here in the second. Saints are shooting just 42% since halftime. Lourdes is at 41% here in the second half. It was a 3-point lead for the Gray Wolves at the break, and it's up to 6 now. Trying to add to it further with the basketball in their hands. Holyfield, huge first half, trying to get it done here in the second. Not able to finish at the rim, but he'll go to the line for 2 shots.
St. Francis foul number 32, Carter Fahey, his second, team's 9th.
9th team foul, so they'll all be 2-shot fouls from here on out. 97 seconds still to play. Joey Holyfield at the line. Holyfield has been lights out from the free throw line today. He's gone 7 of 7. On his way to 17 points. He's got 7 rebounds, 3 assists. All of those numbers lead his team. He's just played a really nice all-around game for the Gray Wolves today. And he makes his 8th consecutive free throw. He's well over 80% now for the year. 9 for 9 in the game. 75-67. Lewis McGlasson is back on the floor. The Saints could use a few 3-pointers here. McGlasson is one of their better outside shooters. Aitor Anabadarte is not, but he tries it anyway. In and out, and the rebound is tapped out to Anabadarte. Here's Reno. Reno shovels it out to Anabadarte. Fahey puts it on the floor, steps back. 8 to shoot for Carter Fahey. Anabadarte back to Fahey. Step back, fade away 3 off the back iron, no good. Rebound to Vincent. Reno trying to steal it. Vincent picks up his dribble and gets it out to Holyfield. and Lourdes is able to get across half court. An 8-point lead now with 50 seconds to play. St. Francis not looking to foul here. Reno looking for the steal. He was able to poke that one away from Vincent, but it finds its way to Holyfield, and he's fouled by Wright. Kind of an odd foul right there. Holyfield has been so good from the free throw line. If you're going to foul, why not anybody else on the possession? The shot clock was already down to around 10. So at that point, if you're going to foul, you probably do it about 15 seconds earlier. By the point that it had gotten to, you might as well just play out the possession. Holyfield hits another one and makes it a 10-point game for the first time today. He's a perfect 11 of 11 from the line. 22 points. 3-point attempt, Anabadarte off the mark. Offensive rebound, Wright off the glass and in. Timeout, St. Francis. This is a long shot now. 33 seconds left, an 8-point game. You can't keep trading buckets the way they've been doing. The three-point shooting has completely departed, and credit to Lourdes. They've stepped up the defense. When the Saints were 7 of 12 from beyond the arc, it's not as though they were hitting acrobatic fadeaway three-pointers routinely. They were getting great look after great look, and they were making Lourdes pay for their lackluster perimeter defense. Since then, Saints have not been good shooting the basketball. They're just one of their last 10 from beyond the arc, but I'm struggling to think of too many of them that were open looks from good shooters that didn't go. They've been contested. And that is because the defense has really picked itself up quite a bit. The Saints don't necessarily need to hit a bunch of threes, but what they do need is some quick stops. And when I say stops, I mean takeaways. Because Lourdes has been hitting all of their free throws. 17 of 18 as a team today, including Holyfield's 11 for 11. So you can't send these guys to the line. If you can't get steals at this point, it's not going to happen for the Fighting Saints. So they'll put on the full court press here. And you would imagine if they don't get an immediate steal, they will foul immediately, but they want to make sure that Holyfield doesn't get the ball. And to Vincent. They're still playing for the takeaway, but Vincent is bumped by Darius Wright. He wasn't trying to foul. It's one of those plays I think sometimes the official just anticipates that you're going to be trying to commit a foul, and he blows his whistle a little quickly because we've seen a lot of contact go in this game. There's not been a heavy whistle from any of these officials, and that time they do get Vincent to the line. You're really in a no-win situation, though, for St. Francis, down by 8 with 30 seconds left as Vincent makes a free throw. You don't want to foul because you don't want to send them to the line, but you're under 30 seconds. You don't really have any other choice. They could have kept playing for the steal, but every second that ticks off is so valuable. You really need Lourdes to make some mistakes. And there's one, a rare one, a missed free throw, but they get the offensive rebound, and that might just do it. Jackie Harris will go to the line as he's fouled. St. Francis has been waiting all day for Lourdes to miss a free throw. They finally do, but they get the offensive rebound. It was Brett Lauf who got that board. And now Harris try to make it a double-digit lead once again. He does. 4-possession game, 26 seconds left. So it does appear that St. Francis will fall to 1-2 on the season. Another tough, hard-fought loss. This one maybe not as difficult to stomach as Tuesdays against Roosevelt when they had the lead the whole way and the Lakers scored in the final seconds to take out the Saints 80-78. They were in this one the whole way. Not totally over yet as Fahey is fouled. But the Saints will need a minor miracle at this point. Fahey at the line for two. Well, I said before, you really can't afford to just trade baskets right now. Well, this could have been a +1 with 2 shots from the line, considering Lourdes only made 1 of 2 free throws on their last chance, but they got the offensive rebounds. They ended up making 1 of 2 again and still turned it into a 2-point possession. Fahey knocks down the first free throw. He's got 12 points. One more for Carter Fahey. His second shot is good. He checks out. Maxwell Topia is back in. Saints again will look for the steal on the inbounds play, but they're able to get it into Jackie Harris. That time Darius Wright tried to foul. They didn't call it. And Jordique Vincent is fouled. Right on the last possession was trying for a steal. They called a foul when he didn't think there was very much contact. This time he wrapped Harris up thinking the call would be made right away. And surprisingly, they let it go. So it's Vincent at the line instead of Harris, but it works out in the Saints' favor as Vincent misses the first free throw. Vincent is a worse free throw shooter than Harris, though neither of them has had a lot of opportunities this year. Fahey back in on offense for Maxwell Topia. Saints will try to score quickly here with 14 seconds to play. Carter Fahey loses his footing and calls timeout. Well, Lourdes, like St. Francis, lost a heartbreaker last time they were out earlier this week. They went on the road and took on Northwestern Ohio on Tuesday night. Northwestern Ohio got the game-winning bucket with 30 seconds left to give them a 1-point loss. So both of these teams were licking their wounds coming into today following a very difficult defeat earlier in the week. It looks like Lourdes will get back on the winning track. St. Francis will try again tomorrow. Fighting Saints play at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon against Eureka. And Eureka will get their first feel for this court in about a half hour. They'll take on East West University 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game. Lourdes is in the midst of a scheduled 5-game road trip. One of those games was postponed, so it's turned into a 4-game road trip. So far, so good for them. They are on their way to a 2-1 record over the first 3 games of those 4. They'll play East West tomorrow. They've got the 2 o'clock game against East West, and then St. Francis at 4 o'clock against Eureka. That is day 2 of the St. Francis Thanksgiving Classic. Day 1 has started with a good game, but a game that the Saints will apparently come up short in as Lewis McGlasson leans into a 2-point jumper, misses it. Aitor Anabadarte fights for the rebound. He's fouled going back up. So Anabadarte gets to put a few more stats on the board. A very impressive day for him. He's already got a double-double. Just grabbed another rebound, looking for a few more points from the free throw line. 4.5 seconds on the clock. 2-shot foul here for Anabadarte. First free throw is good. Got them both. Maxwell Topia back in for Fahey, which suggests the Saints are still going to play defense here. Down 3 scores with 4 seconds left. Harris gets the inbounds pass. They will not foul. They were playing for the steal. Didn't get it. They let the clock run out. And our final score is Lourdes 80, St. Francis 73. Tough loss for St. Francis. They played well early, had a lead for the majority of the first half. The second half, though, goes Lourdes' way. They had a 3-point lead at the break. Fighting Saints fought back. At one point, they went on an 11-0 run, and they took the lead away from the Gray Wolves. But that was the last time they had it. Lourdes responded nicely, and they were able to come away with the victory. Overall, St. Francis struggled to put the ball in the basket in the second half, 52% from the field in the first, just 39% from the field in the second half. That includes 1 of 10 on their last 10 three-point shots after they had started the game 7 for 12. Meanwhile, Lourdes didn't shoot quite as well in the second half either, 41% after they shot 53% in the first half. But they got it done from the free throw line. 16 of 19 really helped out their cause. They ended up shooting 47% overall, 30% on three-pointers. Saints at 45%, 36% on threes, and they were just 13 of 20 from the free throw line, certainly one of the factors in today's game. Lourdes was led by Joey Holyfield, who finished with 21 points. They had a good game from Jackie Harris as well, 19 points and 7 rebounds for him. St. Francis was led by Aitor Anabararte, who finished the game probably the best statistical game of his career. In fact, definitely the best statistical game in his career. 16 points, 14 rebounds for him. Carter Fahey had 13 points, 6 assists. Darius Wright had 15 points for the Fighting Saints today. With the loss, they fall to 1-2 on the season. Lourdes improves their record to 5-2. Both of these teams will be back in action tomorrow. Doubleheader starting at 2 o'clock. Lourdes will take on East West at 4 o'clock. It'll be St. Francis against Eureka. Eureka takes the floor in just a few moments against East West University. And that will conclude the first night of the USF Thanksgiving Classic. We'll be back on the broadcast tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock start time for the Fighting Saints against Eureka. Until then, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off for now. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night.